So you might ask yourself, why do I need a while loop when I can do something like this using a for loop? Like, why would I want to use a while loop here when I could actually write something a bit simpler with using a for loop instead? And the reason is while loops are actually more flexible, and so they can do for loops. You can always write a while loop in the form of a for loop, just like we've done over here. But sometimes you can't write a for loop as a while loop. You can't write a for loop as a while loop because a while loop will keep running until a condition is no longer true, whereas a for loop will run for a predetermined amount of time that you must hard program into MATLAB. So you must put in here the number 7, or you must put in here 10, 2 million. Even though that this is a big number, this will run 2 million times, it's a lot of numbers. 2 million is a well-defined number, and this for loop will eventually end. So in a while loop, things don't end until a condition is no longer, while a condition is true. So this comes up a lot when we work with user inputs. So I just want to give a quick example. So say I had a program that just asked for a number from the user, right? So as a really simple trivial case, I'll say user answer equals input. The input function is a built-in function into MATLAB to ask for keyboard input from the user. So if you wrote here enter the number 1 into MATLAB, then that message will be displayed to the user. So if I run this right now, I call this demo 3, I run it, and now the message to me in the command window is the message that I've entered into input. And so if I put in 1, it runs, and actually if I put in any other number, it will run 2. I could put in 6, I could put in -800, and it will all run. So the way that we can use while loops is to check if a user input entered in a correct value, and then keep asking that person to put in the right number until they've entered in the correct information. So what I mean by that is, say I write while user answer is not equal to 1, keep asking that instruction. And currently, if I were to read this code right now, I haven't defined what user answer is. So in the first line I clear, in the second line I CLC, then I say while user answer equals -1. What is user answer on line 4? So I must define what user answer is up front as a default value. So let me say user answer equals 0. Okay, so I assign the value of 0 to user answer first, and then I say while user answer is not equal to 1, keep asking this question. So now, is user answer equal to 1? When I run this for the first time, no, because user answer equals 0. So 0 is not equal to 1, so that the statement evaluates to true. And then I ask the user for an input again. So if I run this now, enter the number 1. No, I'm going to put in 9. Sorry, doesn't work. Let me put in the number 6. Can't work. Let me put in the number 7. Let me put in the number 2, -2, 0.1, 1.5, 1.2. Can't. 1.0001. No. So how many times must this iteration keep iterating? It's unknown. It's unknown. I can't predict how many times the user is going to put in the wrong number. So I need to put it into a while loop so that I can keep asking this question until the user gives me the right information. So now if I put in 6.35, no, let me try okay, so let me say 1 eventually. Put in 1, and finally I end the loop. So the loop has only ended after this condition is no longer true. And this is a very nice way of catching for a user to put in the correct input. I don't know how many times the user is going to enter in the wrong information. For all I know, he could enter the right information in the first time, and this would look like it didn't even exist. So while loops are very nice for setting up this type of program where you don't know how many times you have to iterate.